friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today is day 101 of 2020, and I had given myself a challenge to go 100 days without spending any money, and I mostly did a really good job with that. It helps that we all kind of got stuck at home in the middle of March. I did do a couple library sale things in February that I probably shouldn't have, and in March. But in celebration of doing a really good job, I cheated, of course, and ordered from Book Outlet during their spring sale. But here on the 101st day of 2020, I'm gonna share with you what I got from Book Outlet. I mostly ordered middle grade books because it was middle grade March when I placed this order, so a good chunk of these are middle grade. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's just 10 books here though, so it's not totally over the top. I usually try to get just over that $35 mark so that I can get the free shipping, and that's what I did. So these books were all super cheap, and let me just show you what I got. I will start with the middle grade books. I'm really excited about some of these. The first one that I'm going to show you is The Book of Three, which is by Lloyd Alexander, and this is the first book in the Chronicles of Prydain series. I have had my eye on this series because book 5, I believe, was a Newbery winner, and I picked it up from a library sale like a year ago maybe, and obviously hadn't started reading the series because I didn't own them. So when I saw book 1 on Book Outlet, I grabbed it. This is a fantasy middle grade series in which we follow this boy named Taryn, who is an assistant pig keeper. And I think one of the pigs goes missing, but in the process, this boy Taryn discovers some evil in the works. He has to make the choice to warn the people of Prydain or continue about his own business. Good and evil, kind of classic middle grade fantasy themes there. So I'm excited to finally dive into that. I have heard good things about Lauren Wolk's book, Wolf Hollow. And so when I saw this one, Beyond the Bright Sea, this one is a historical fiction, and we follow a young girl, a 12-year-old girl named Crow, who as a baby was placed in a boat and sent to drift. She grew up with the old man who found her and lived on these islands off the coast of Massachusetts for her whole life. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but that premise alone makes me excited to give this book a try. We'll see what it's about. The Emperor's Ostrich by Julie Berry, I heard about from Amy Poole and also Leslie Ring. Both of them recommended this in 2019's middle grade March recommendations video, and I had never heard of it before then, but Amy just again did the middle grade book tag and mentioned this book again and made me very excited that I had picked it up from Book Outlet. I have another book by Julie Berry on my shelves, The Scandalous Sisterhood of Pick Willow Place. So I need to read her. But this one, at the top on the back, it says, "A missing cow, a disappeared emperor, and one magical journey." Yes, I'm in. The next one I bought, mainly because it has a gorgeous cover, Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman. Beautiful. This one, I'm not sure if this is middle grade or young adult, but we follow this young girl, Kiko Himura, who is half Japanese. She is trying to get into an art school, Prism, that she really is hoping to get into, but also has an abusive uncle that moves back into their home. So it's just about, it's more of a contemporary navigating those things. The culture clash of being half American, the abusive situation at home, and also desiring to get into art school and possibly not getting into the one of her choice, and touring some other art schools, trying to escape kind of some things in her life. I haven't heard very many people talk about this one, but I'm interested enough to give it a shot. I picked up Laurie Halse Anderson's Ashes. This is, I'm not sure if it's book 2 or 3 in her Seeds of America trilogy. I do own Chains. Looks like this one is book 3, so I still need to get Forge, which is book 2. Chains is the first one. And this is a historical fiction, kind of well-praised trilogy by Laurie Halse Anderson, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into those. And then I picked up books 1 and 2 in the Keeper of Lost Cities series. I've heard such praise for these books. This is by Shannon Messenger. I know that there are at least 7 books in this series, so jumping into this will not exactly happen until I finish up some of these other series that I'm in the middle of. But in this one we follow Sophie, who is 12 years old and is a telepath. She can understand the thoughts of people around her. And then one day this strange boy shows up who also has this ability, and they kind of have a quest to go on together. She discovers there's a whole other side to her world, and staying with her family puts them in danger. I don't really know all the details of it, but I've heard such good things about this series, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into it. And then this one is called Exile, and we just follow Sophie's journey throughout the series, but I'm looking forward to getting into those eventually. And then I do have 3 that are not middle grade. I have one that's YA, and I own the first 2 books in this series. This is the Great Library series. This is Ashen Quill. The first ones are Ink and Bone and Paper and Fire, and I read them years ago and really did enjoy them. I had totally forgotten about this series, but now with my goal of finishing up some series this year, I'm excited, but I feel like I probably should go back and reread the first 2. This is kind of a dystopian type of world where all of the books and all reading material have been collected into this great library. You're not allowed to have any in your own home, and there are people who work at the great library, including our main character, Jess. And I don't really remember much about the first 2 books, so I can't tell you too much about it, but I do know that it's kind of a dystopian fantasy. So I'm looking forward to someday, hopefully this year, maybe either reading spoilery reviews of the first 2 to get it fresh in my mind again, or going back and rereading the whole thing. We'll see. I picked up a historical fiction called From Scratch by Tembi Locke. This might be a memoir, actually. Yeah, this is a memoir. Whoops, not a historical fiction. This says a poignant and transporting cross-cultural love story set against the lush backdrop of the Sicilian countryside, where one woman discovers the healing powers of food and family in her darkest hour. Takes place in Florence, Italy. Saro and Tembi, it's their love story. Saro is a Sicilian man. His family disapproves of him marrying a Black American woman, but fueled by love, the couple forge on in the face of this estrangement. They built a happy life in Los Angeles while with fulfilling careers and deep friendships. They have a baby girl. Luminous and lyrical and complete with 16 recipes drawn from the couple's culinary adventures, From Scratch is for anyone who has dared to reach for big love, has fought for what mattered most, and has needed a reminder that life is, after all, delicious. Sounds really fun. I don't think I've ever read a foodie memoir before, and this sounds like food is going to play a huge part, but it's also a memoir of their romance together, so I'm looking forward to this one. And finally, a book that I was influenced by BooksAndJams to pick up is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Graves. This is about this college romance, then some kind of tragedy happens and they are separated for over a decade, and then they come back together after that, and how do they navigate that reunion and moving forward from there. So I've just heard a lot of praise for this one, and I think that I was told it's going to be a tearjerker. I can't remember at the moment, but I'm excited for this one. It just sounds like a nice contemporary with some depth, not necessarily a rom-com, but a nice contemporary romance with some heartbreak in there as well. So here are the 10 books that I picked up from this year's Book Outlet spring sale. I'm a big fan of Book Outlet and often have books just waiting in my cart for the next time they have a sale. And I'm really excited about these. I'm excited to expand my middle grade shelf, and also some of those other ones I got too. Let's chat in the comments below if you have read any of these, or you're interested in any of them, or if you purchased from the Book Outlet spring sale this year. I would love to comment about those things or anything else in the comments below. You know I love talking with you down there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be talking to you soon in another video. Bye.